Here is the most beautiful and most important points regarding the eclampsia. Preeclampsia complicated by generalized tonic-clonic seizures or coma is called as eclampsia. What are the major maternal complications due to the eclampsia? These includes, we can divide it as placental complications, and maternal complications includes, we can easily remember by remembering our vital organs. Placental complications like placental abruption, and our vital organs include brain. In brain, neurological deficits. In heart, cardiopulmonary arrest. In lungs, it includes aspiration pneumonia, pulmonary edema, and pulmonary embolism. In liver, it includes HELLP syndrome. And finally, the kidneys. In kidneys, it includes the acute renal failure. Eclampsia is most commonly seen in last trimester. Other causes of convulsions that occur more than 48 hours postpartum include, the differential diagnosis includes the focal neurological deficits, cortical venous thrombosis, and PRESS. PRESS includes the posterior reversible encephalopathy syndrome and atypical eclampsia and prolonged coma. These is a very simplified version of the complications of eclampsia, and also the differential diagnosis for the convulsions occurring more than 48 hours postpartum. What are the clinical findings in case of eclampsia? It includes the violent seizure activity. In violent seizure activity, we should protect the airway, and we have to protect the mother from the tongue bite because of the violent action of the jaws. And after seizures, the female may be in postictal confusion and coma. If there is any status epilepticus, we can give IV phenobarbitone, barbiturate, and IV midazolam and IV lorazepam to the maximum extent, and deep sedation is needed if there is any status epilepticus to prevent the injuries to the mother. And most common side effect of sedation is aspiration pneumonia, and convulsions may lead to hypoxia, hypercarbia, and lactic acidemia. If respiratory rate is more than 50, because the respiratory rate is more than 50 after convulsion, it leads to hypoxia, hypercarbia, and lactic acidemia. There may be cyanosis also, and high fever is a very grave sign in case of eclampsia, as it emanates from the cerebrovascular accident and cerebrovascular hemorrhages. There may be oliguria, and there may be sometimes anuria and hemoglobinuria, and pulmonary edema is the most deadly combination because of the inhalation of the gastric content. Here comes postnatally. There is a rise in urine output, and the serum creatinine comes to normal, and proteinuria finally disappears. BP normalizes within 2 weeks after delivery. What is intrapartum eclampsia? Female may spontaneously set into labor after antepartum eclampsia. If she is in labor, the frequency and intensity of contractions increases and fetal bradycardia is noted. It should get recovered within 2 to 10 minutes. If not, we have to suspect the placental abruption and fetal distress due to the uteroplacental insufficiency. What are the main causes of pulmonary edema in case of preeclampsia and eclampsia? It is mainly due to the cardiogenic edema and capillary permeability edema. In severe hypertension, or combination of both, due to the aspiration pneumonitis from gastric inhalation during vomiting in case of eclampsia. Ventricular failure from increased afterload. This is aggravated by IV fluid administration. So what is the main mechanism? It includes decreased serum albumin in preeclampsia. This leads to the decrease in plasma oncotic pressure. That is, plasma oncotic pressure drops. This is called as the preeclampsia syndrome. And there will be increased extravasation of fluid, and there will be decreased plasma oncotic pressure, and this leads to the pulmonary edema. So most common causes of pulmonary edema includes severe hypertension, and the decreased fall in the oncotic pressure leading to cardiogenic edema, or combination of both. There may be aspiration pneumonitis also. So there may be 3 causes for pulmonary edema. This is the most dread end of convulsions. Convulsion may lead to psychosis, and it may lead to massive cerebral hemorrhage, and it may lead to coma due to the extensive cerebral edema, and it may lead to death due to the tentorial herniation, and it may lead to hemiplegia, and it may lead to blindness due to the retinal detachment and occipital lobe edema. So in eclampsia there may be post-eclamptic psychosis. Treatment is antipsychotics, and massive cerebral hemorrhage due to the because of this there will be tentorial herniation and there will be eventually death and extensive coma, and cerebral edema leads to tentorial herniation and leading to death, and hemiplegia and blindness. So these are the major complications of eclampsia. So what is the differential diagnosis for convulsions? Epilepsy complicating pregnancy, encephalitis, meningitis, brain tumor, meningoencephalitis, and neurocysticercosis, amniotic fluid embolism, postdural puncture cephalgia, and ruptured cerebral aneurysms. These are the differential diagnosis of convulsions. What is the management of eclampsia? Prophylactic administration of magnesium sulfate to stop convulsions in case of eclampsia. What are the management strategies in case of eclampsia? Control of convulsions using IV loading dose of magnesium sulfate and maintenance dose, and intermittent administration of any antihypertensive medication to lower the BP, and avoidance of diuretics, restricting IV fluids, and the main thing is the delivery of the fetus and the placenta.